What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the MG Cup Series, and for the first time ever, we are on ESPN for a couple of races here with coverage of the MG Cup Series. Shoot, hold on, let me get on the right car here. Hold on. All right, Tony Stewart once again is your pole sitter here with Greg Biffle starting to his outside. Now Stewart and Biffle starting this season off pretty strong. They are currently their points leaders. Well, maybe not points leaders. Stewart's a little further back, but he's up there. He's inside the top 5, I believe. But after a action-packed race at Las Vegas last week, we are here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the home track of that number 86 driver back there, Chris Mack, who had a chance to win last time we came here. Papyrus Racing had a strategy that almost worked. The caution ruined it late in the race, but luckily he was able to get back on the lead lap. But unfortunately, there were a lot of lap cars in the way, and he could not get past them all. Tony Stewart was actually the car he hit that caused him to go around and wreck. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes, but Tony Stewart is now your pole sitter. Mark Martin, always good here at Atlanta. He's won here twice already. And this is only our third year. But the green flag is in the air. We're racing from Atlanta Motor Speedway, the home of the MG Cup Series and the home of Chris Mack. On the backstretch for the first time, look at this real speed. Down the backstretch, heading into turn 3. Oh, Chris Mack slid up the hill just a little bit there. Coming off of turn 4 to complete lap 1. Tony Stewart's going to edge out Rusty Wallace at the line. We haven't seen Rusty running strong here lately, but now he's fighting for the lead here from Atlanta. And look at Mark Martin underneath him, trying to take the lead as well. Further back, though. Oh, contact! Carl Edwards into the inside wall. He's going to keep it straight, but the left side of that car is all torn up. One car down onto the apron. For a split second there, Jeff Burton got a little loose, it seems. Had to check up. Everybody checks up for him there. Now heading through 1 and 2 once again. Still 3 wide. Crazy pack racing and lots of action all over here. Rusty Wallace, we haven't seen him win in a couple of seasons. Look at Chris Mack, way up next to the outside wall. Now going to hop back down to the bottom here. Papyrus Racing started to try to take it easy towards the end of last season, but they are not taking it easy at all here, as they run up front and try to find their way back to the lead. Chris Mack in that 86 car. A young man, you can see he's maturing as time goes by, and seeming to have better runs, seeming to finish races more often now. 2003 and 2004, he was just plagued with bad luck. That entire team was. Remember, his best friend also had a bit of bad luck in that car, but now Chris Mack going to the lead as he gets out ahead of Ryan Newman. He's out in front of the entire field, and he's pulling away. Oh, contact back there. Jeremy Mayfield sent down the racetrack by Rusty Wallace. They're going to keep it straight for now. They're 4 wide further back. Now back down to 3. Look at the 2 of Rusty Wallace. Hold on. Just realized something. NR is quiet once again. Fix that really quickly here. Okay, there we go. Look at Ryan Newman. He's back to the inside of Chris Mack. They're side by side for the lead right now, heading through 1 and 2. Look at Kurt Busch up into the mix. His brother Kyle on his back bumper. Contact. Tony Stewart saves it back there. Man, some crazy action here already from Atlanta Motor Speedway. These drivers not letting up at all. Things are getting wild. right up next to the outside wall. That's Chris Mack once again up on the high side. Not afraid to try to find a little bit more grip. Search around this racetrack for that grip. He goes way up there, right up next to the wall. And he's getting a good run on exit. The draft, using the draft to his advantage as well to take that momentum and go to the front. As he gets underneath Rusty Wallace, he's going to take the lead back once again. The fans are on their feet as the hometown hero leads at Atlanta. Man, listen to these cars, man. These guys are absolutely flying around this racetrack. Over 200 miles per hour. That's over 320 kilometers per hour for my Australian viewers. I know I say that literally every video, but I mean, real NASCAR commentators repeat things every week, so what makes me any different? Anyways, 3 by 3 for most of the field. Cars are everywhere. Let's see which lane can get the advantage. Looks like the bottom might be the one because they have the most cars on it. But they're also going to have to check up a little bit. Look at Matt Kenseth through the middle. He's going to make it 4 wide. I don't think he wanted to be there, but he's there now. His teammate, Mark Martin, going to go with him. Bobby Hamilton has no help. They're splitting them here. High and low. Down the backstretch. Still 4 wide. Mark Martin in the middle of all of that. Oh, man. This pack is kind of... It's like a landmine now. They're ticking. They're like a time bomb here. When's it going to happen? There it is. They're wrecking. Bobby Hamilton into the wall. Huge crash. Look at Casey Mears up on his side. Oh, Robbie Gordon upside down for the second time in a handful of weeks. A wild wreck. Racing back to the line. Side by side for the lead. Rusty Wallace on the inside. Chris Mack trying to make the high side work. He's going to cut back low. Coming to the stripe. At the line. Who just led that? I think it was Chris Mack. They're showing Chris Mack as the leader. We're going to go back really quickly and take a look at that run to the line there. At the stripe, it's... Oh, that's way too close to call. But look at that. The nose of that 86 just out in front. Imagine if that was the finish. I know it's way too early to be saying that, but imagine if that was the finish. They're dead even at the line. That's closer than the Daytona 500 finish last season. But anyways, let's go back. Take a look at what just brought out the caution here today. They start wrecking right about here. Into the outside wall goes Bobby Hamilton. Nowhere for Jeff Gordon to go as he gets collected. Kyle Busch into the wall. Scott Riggs. Dave Blaney. Look at the 41 of Casey Mears. All 4 wheels off the ground as he flew through the air. Landed on his side. Came back down on all 4. And then, oh man, there's just smoke and carnage everywhere. The 7 of Robbie Gordon gets packed so hard, he lands on top of the 61 and rolls over. Luckily doesn't go barrel rolling like he did at Daytona earlier this season. But man, that's just, he's had some of the worst luck. I mean, 3 times in his last 6 times being inside of a race car here in the MG Cup Series, and he's been on his lid 3 of those times. Like, that's just terrible luck. That's what he got injured last season after a crash. But look at this, hard into the outside wall. A couple of cars, they go sliding back across the track. 7 getting rammed there from behind. Let's take another look at it from this angle. 4 wide into the quad oval, and they just run out of room. There goes Dale Jr. and Kevin Harvick. They're trying to save it. They're trying to keep it straight. The 29 is going to get sent down the racetrack just as it looked like he had it saved, and he's going to collect the 8. And then all of these guys further back, they start sliding down the racetrack, and then the track starts to curve, so they spin. They're still going straight, and that's going to send them back across the track towards the outside wall, and people are trying to get through, and that just wipes out everybody else. Nowhere for these guys to go. The red flag is in the air because we're going to have a lot of cleanup here on the front stretch. Debris everywhere. And let's go on board with a few people. Harvick's on board. That was absolutely wild stuff there. Let's go on board now with the 8 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Let's see what he Let's go on board with the 41 of Casey Mears. Oh, still not done. Just a wild ride there. Crazy crash. Wiping out a handful, not even a handful, most of the cars in this race. Let's go on board with Kyle chaos on the front straightaway. Some craziness here. Let's go on board with Jeff Gordon. They had nowhere to go too. They just kept piling in there. How about this? Look at it. Track was just completely blocked. There was nowhere for them to go. You see David Rudiman coming in late, and a couple guys from the back kind of piled in. Terry Labonte gets through. Who's that flying in at full speed? They're getting penalized if they hit anybody. Not even penalized, they're getting fined. Who is that? Carl Edwards. Man, he is lucky he did not make contact with anybody there, because that would have for sure been a suspension. We're gonna take a few more onboard looks at it. Let's ride along with the 31 of Jeff Burton, see what he's behind all of this here. Did get a little bit of that, not too much. We did get a little. Go on board with Dave Blaney in the 07. Oh, wait, no. Jason Lefter. So Kyle Busch, Jeff Gordon, Brian Vickers. That's 3 of the 5 Hendrick cars in this race getting wiped out. Let's go on board with Michael Walker. Mikey actually does a great job slowing down and getting away from it without too much damage there. That was beautiful wreck avoidance by Michael Waltrip. I don't think he got too much of it. But let's go on board now with, I think I said Brian Vickers. That's just a consequence of this type of racing when everyone's just bunched up. They're all in one little space. It takes one wrong move and that's the entire field getting wiped out. Let's go on board with Gene Murray. You can see the absolute calamity taking place behind them as the track just gets clogged. Nowhere for these guys to go. Let's go on board with Jeremy Mayfield. Mayfield did a good job getting through that. Let's ride along with Kyle Petty. He also did a great job getting by that. Some good wreck avoidances here as well, but we know Kurt Busch didn't avoid it. Let's go on board with him. Absolute calamity. I think we already went on board with Dave Blaney, but just in case, I'll do it again. Rex got locked there. Nothing he can do. This all happened so fast. Just one wrong move. You see the 32 Bobby Hamilton right in the middle of all that? It's just nothing he could do. Nowhere he could go. Bobby Hamilton Jr. just in the middle of a sandwich. I was gonna get hit again, but he actually made it out relatively unharmed. Let's go on board with the 7 of Robbie Gordon. Where's he at? Here he is. All the way back here. Second he crosses the line. Oh man! Slowed down just in time, but then got clobbered from behind. That was a hard hit. Just glad he's alright considering the injuries he had before, or last season from that wreck. Just watch this. Jeff Fuller comes in, flying, sends him onto his roof. Watch this. Sent him up into the air and onto his roof. Robbie Gordon having a terrible time here in the MG Cup Series ever since he came back from that injury he had last season. Looking to turn that luck around still, but he's also a team owner this season. This is going to be very expensive. A very expensive season for him. Had it pretty much avoided, then got hit from behind. Not sure who hit him. Jeff Green got into the back of there, but Green got hit from behind by Gordon, who got hit from behind by Fuller, and that's what caused the 21 to switch. Absolute calamity here. That brought out the red flag. We're still waiting for cleanup to be finished here after this huge accident on the front straightaway. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the MG Cup Series. After a crash that wiped out pretty much 3/4 of the field, we are back after a lengthy cleanup and a lot of crazy replays of that humongous accident that occurred on the front straightaway. But we're getting ready to go green again. So Chris Mack, your leader for Papyrus Racing here, is going to lead us back around to the green flag. And Rusty Wallace is hungry. He hasn't won since the 2003 season, and we do know this will be his final, at least full-time season here in the MG Cup Series for Roger Penske and Penske Racing. So things are going to be pretty interesting here to see if Rusty can get that final win. Remember, he is your inaugural MG Cup Series champion, but the green flag is back in the air. We're racing once again. Look at all these damaged race cars that restarted on the inside line. That's going to cause a problem there. You see Casey Mears way off the pace after getting airborne in that crash. Holding up most of the field here. They're going to try to figure out a way to get past them. 3 wide in the turn 3, almost 4 wide. There's contact. Dale Jarrett on the apron. He's going to save it. He comes back up. They're 4 wide on the front stretch in the same area that caused the wreck the last time, but luckily they made it out alive the second time around. They're still stacking up. They're all over each other. Mike Bliss in the 0 contact. There goes the 0-1 of Joe Nemechek up into the outside wall. They were 5 wide for a second, but they keep it straight. Kyle Busch still rolling. Doesn't seem to have too much damage on that 5 car after being involved in that crash, but he's being held up by the Ganassi boys. Or, well, held up by Casey Mears in the 41. That wreck. Look at Carl Edwards. He was involved in his own wreck during that green flag run. It didn't bring out the caution. He just kind of got sent towards the inside wall and kept it going. I wouldn't even call that a wreck. He just kind of got damaged. But we're keeping it going for now. Chris Mack out in front. Greg Biffle in second, but not for long, because here comes Rusty Wallace in second place. Tell you what, these lap cars really help the leaders out, because now the field is quite separated here. The field has been spread out by a lot, so these guys get a little bit more breathing room, a little more room for error. Got a bit of a tandem going on down the backstretch here. Jimmy Johnson pushing 17 to Matt Kenseth, and Mark Martin in the 6 pushing the 9 at Casey Kane. Kane won Rookie of the Year last season. Oh my goodness. Casey Kane was the Rookie of the Year last season. He was in a close fight for Rookie of the Year with Johnny Sauter. And just beat him out in points there. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do. We'll keep our eye on him as time goes forward here. Looking at the rest of the pack, seems like they finally sorted things out just a little bit. Look at Tony Stewart up into the mix. Tony Stewart. He's been very fast this season. Trying to get underneath Rusty Wallace, the first ever MG Cup Series champion, the 2003 champ. They're side by side. Greg Biffle trying to take it 3 wide. That's a Chevy, a Dodge, and a Ford. Contact being made there. Here comes another Ford. Going to follow Biffle through. That's Elliott Sadler in the 38. And then a bit of a pack back here. Defending champion Jimmy Johnson in the middle of that. Casey Kane, Mark Martin, Kyle Petty, Matt Kenseth, Bobby Labonte, Dale Jarrett, the 22 of Scott Wimmer. There's the 77 of Travis Kvapil. And the 15 of Michael Waltrip. Now Chris Mack raced at Lanier. I think I might have mentioned this, but he raced at Lanier in the Pro Series this weekend as well, and put the whooping on those boys. Finished a whole lap ahead of the rest of the field in an absolutely dominant performance. Now he's putting the whooping on the field here today, as he's led a majority of the laps we've completed so far. He's out in front, way out in front, clearly has the fastest car out on track here. These guys can't exactly, they're not letting them get too far ahead, but at the same time, they're not really closing in on them. I don't think they're pushing hard enough, or maybe they don't, I can't talk, maybe they don't want to. But we got a lap car, Casey Mears in the 41, look out. That car way off the pace. I'm surprised they're even letting them drive around out here, being that far off the pace. The 6 and the 17. 2 Roush Racing teammates. Around goes Bobby Labonte into the inside wall. That's going to bring out another caution, I believe. Mike Wallace has heavy damage. He's going to stay out of the way. Coming back to the yellow flag. Wait. No? No, we're still green. Bobby Labonte crashes on the back straightaway, but we're still green here. Let's go back now and take a look at what just happened. Looks like Labonte got into the back of Travis Kvapil. Kvapil saved it, and then Labonte came across the nose of the 45. Kyle Petty didn't lift, and he just caught the end of the safer barrier there. I'm not sure why it kind of just ends out of the blue. Maybe they weren't done installing it. But we're back to the live feed. Chris Mack just cutting his way through the lap traffic, and these guys back here, they're gonna have to figure this out. Who's gonna go where? Looks like these guys are gonna go inside, but Scott Wibber hopping down to the bottom of the racetrack, right in front of the 16 of Greg Biffle. That's gonna slow these guys down and allow Chris Mack to grow his lead just a little bit more. 3 wide now. Looking at 4. Tony Stewart taking him down to the bottom. 4 wide. There goes Elliott Sattler around. He collects Rusty Wallace, and they go hard. And then the outside wall, hard crash. Nowhere for Jimmy Johnson to go. Oh, and they're still wrecking. Travis Quapple's out. Big hit. Another one. They're still wrecking down the back straightaway. And they're still piling it. Look at this. They're still piling into it. They're wrecking all the way down the back stretch. Caution is out. These guys aren't able to check up in time. And a lot of torn up race cars once again here. The caution flies. Chris Mack, your leader, won the race back to the line. And man, just wow. What just happened? There's Casey Kane, all the drivers we were just talking about. Casey Kane, Jimmy Johnson, Michael Waltrip. I mean, all of them in that little pack get taken out. Tony Stewart tried to take it 4 wide to get by the lap traffic. Couldn't quite make it work. Didn't have the room. And they send each other into the wall, and then bang! Nowhere for Jimmy Johnson to go. That was very scary. Very reminiscent of the crash that took Steve Park out of action for many months, as Johnson went pretty much head on with that 38 car. Luckily it wasn't in the door. Remember Park was hitting the passenger door, but Johnson hit him head on, which is actually a little bit worse. But thank goodness for the improved safety over time that allow Elliott Statler to climb out of that car. He is okay. Look at the 88 of Dale Jarrett, the front end of that car, the nose all crunched up. Then there's Travis Quapple, who had nowhere to go. And then Quapple's going to slide back down the racetrack, right into the path of Kyle Petty. Nails him right into the door. And then head-on impact from Ryan Newman. And then Newman gets hit in the door by Jeremy Mayfield. That takes both the Ray Evernham cars out. Then Newman's also going to get hit by a few more. There's Kurt Busch. There's a few slower impacts. Kurt Busch, and then I'm not sure what Terry Labonte was doing. He pulled out and tried to make a move, I guess, and just ran right into the back of the one of Martin Truex Jr. Haven't talked about that rookie this much this season. He's been kind of quiet, racing for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, but Martin Truex in that one car this season after John Andretti ended up being kicked out of the ride after last season. A wild wreck on the back straightaway. We're going to have another cleanup here. They're checking on Travis Quapple, as he still hasn't climbed out yet. He put the window net down, so that's a good sign. Lets us know he is okay, or at least conscious, but still hasn't climbed out. Waiting on him to get out of the car. We probably shouldn't be showing replays this soon, but it is what it is. Just a crazy crash, and the second red flag of the day, as cleanup is going to take a while once again. Pretty big hits. Elliott Sattler out of the car. He's limping away. Ugh, just a terrible hit. Terrible place to be hit. You see Dale Jarrett, all these guys, they were all right on top of each other pretty much. So when Johnson hit Sattler, everybody got collected, and then here comes the 15 up the racetrack, right into the path of Travis Quapple. Bang! Nowhere for that 77 to go. The car is going to slide down the banking. Kyle Petty trying to get low, just ran right into the engine bay of that 77 car, destroying it. And then here comes Ryan Newman destroying it further. Car torn, front end torn into all the pieces there. Then look at the 12 of Newman kind of bouncing around a little bit after getting hit. And there comes the 31. Jeff Burton trying to check up. He's going to make a little contact. Kurt Busch. And I mean, all these guys just destroying those race cars. Hard hits for a lot of them. Let's go on board with that Kodak car. Travis Quapple. Nowhere to go. And then watch this. Oh! Ooh, man. Terrible crash. And Travis is climbing out of the car now. He's talking to the safety crew, and they're helping him climb out, but for the most part, he seems to be okay. Doesn't seem to be too injured, probably a little shaken up, but doesn't seem to be in too much pain. At least nothing that seems like your typical pain of being involved in a wreck. Nothing, it doesn't seem like anything serious, anything, more serious than that, but still just a very scary sight to see such a hard crash. Very reminiscent of the accident, as we said, that took out Steve Park a couple seasons ago in that one car. Just very lucky, very fortunate that these guys, one, learned how to use the brakes a little bit better. I mean, they still plowed into it like ARCA style, but it's a lot better than it was in the past. They just really had nowhere to go, and you can't slow down that quickly. So we'll give these guys a bit of a benefit of the doubt, especially when you're in the corner. And this takes out the last, or this damages the last remaining Hendrick Motorsports cars. As you see, Terry Labonte in the 44, the 48 of Jimmy Johnson was completely destroyed. And gonna have to take a few onboards here. Let's go on board with the 38 of Elliott Sadler. Hard hit in the outside wall. Luckily it's a safe bearing. Watch this! Oh my god. Terrible crash. I hate to see that. You absolutely hate to see stuff like that. That was terrifying. Take another look at it. This is on board with Rusty Mullins. Hurry up and get it out of there before the rest of these guys come sliding into it. Man, alright. Jimmy Johnson, hold on tight. Oh, you could hear him. He was in it. He was on it. Yeah, he was on it, trying to get through. And he saw the wreck up high. He tried to stay in the gas and get by on the bottom, but then the 38 came down, and as soon as he knew that it was over, he got on the brakes. But at that point, nothing he could do, just right into him. And I'm just so thankful that these cars are MG Cup Series officials never stop trying to make these cars safe. It's paying off right here. On board with Ryan Newman. You gotta be thinking the wreck is pretty much over at this point. They've gotta be down at the bottom of the track now. In the corner, but no, little did he know they were not done wrecking. Nothing but smoke. He probably should have lifted a little bit. I mean, the raceback rule kinda causes things like this. He sees the 70, he's coming through the smoke, he sees the 77, he gets on the brakes, but still 150 head on with that 77 car. Just a terrible crash, wiping out a bunch more cars out of this race. The big one, part 2 in Atlanta. Go on board with Kyle Petty. Oh, 140. A 140 and a 150 impact right into towards the front end of that 77 car. That's why Travis was a little ginger getting out of the car there. But for the most part, seems to be okay. Doesn't seem like anything serious, but we'll be waiting on an update on that. Let's go on board with terrible crash. Bringing out the second red flag of the day. We're not even halfway through this yet, but we're already 35 minutes in, so Yeah, we'll be right back after this. Another lengthy red flag from Atlanta. Welcome back to the MG Cup Series from Atlanta here on ESPN. Oh boy. Your leader is Dale Earnhardt Jr., but he's all the way back here. There's a lot of slower cars that didn't quite go a lap down under caution, and there's a bunch of cars that are already a lap down, so your leaders are pretty much boxed in on this restart here, but I'm sure they'll figure this out. Things are going to get crazy though as they try to work their way by it. Coming to the green flag, Dale Jr. Car is accelerating in front of him. Jr. immediately hops out of line. Going to try to get by some of these guys here. Martin Truex Jr. is in second. He was just involved in that crash, but most of the field pitted, and Truex didn't get severe damage in that wreck, so he's going to keep it rolling. Look at Chris Mack! He was down on the apron. He was on the apron getting by lap traffic. He restarted 8th after pitting. Most of the field pitted under that last caution, and now look at Dale Jr. He's falling back a little bit. Remember, he's got damage from that first wreck. Chris Mack just flew through there. Tony Stewart, the only other car that's up the speed, now moves up in the second. The only other car in his pack, I should say. Look at Chris Mack. Oh my goodness, he decided to back out of it last second, and thank goodness for that, because he about murdered the 0-1 of Joe Nemechek. They keep it going for now. Mack. Oh, they're wrecking. Carl Edwards into the outside wall with Bobby Hamilton Jr. And another car that was the 31 of Jeff Burton. He was in the mix as well, but they're keeping it rolling. A couple cars going to get their laps back. The 21, Ricky Rudd. The 18, the Bongo Labonte are back on the lead lap. Chris Mack is your leader. And, we're about to rack them up and try this again. Oh boy. Welcome back to the MG Cup Series here on ESPN. Not ESPN, ESPN. We're about to go green, and we're actually green right now. From Atlanta. A lot of lap traffic in the way. Scott Riggs is in second, apparently. Matt Kenseth third. And here comes Mark Martin in P4. And there's Tony Stewart. And they're getting held up by a lap car to 43 of Jeff Green, all in the way here. Nowhere for these guys to go to avoid him. Excuse the squeakiness of my chair, but things are getting crazy here, so I gotta get comfortable for this. 3 wide, Bobby Hamilton Jr., a couple other cars trying to get through on the bottom. Casey Mears, the slowest car on track right now, holding everybody up. He's got no front end on that race car, but he's still out here charging along. In the 2. A lot of torn up race cars here as Chris Mack is pitting. Looks like he's confident enough that these drivers can go the rest of the distance, or at least most of it, without causing another caution. So he's going to try the same strategy he tried last season that almost worked, and undercut the field by a large margin. Gonna just push as hard as he possibly can. See him on his out lap right now, getting back up to speed. He's already, I think he just lost his lap right there. Yeah, he's a lap down now, but he can fight his, oh my goodness, Kevin Harvick. He can fight his way back up here to field. I'm not exactly confident that these guys will go to the end without another yellow. I'm pretty sure they're about to wreck in just a handful of laps because of the way they're racing here. But Tony Stewart is your leader. Matt Kenseth second. How about Scott Wimmer in third? I can't remember. Has he won here in the MG Cup Series? I think he has. In 2003, when everyone's ratings were equal. Man, this is gonna get crazy though. Look at Mark Martin now. Back to the inside of the 17 of Matt Kenseth. Kenseth is gonna have to give him the spot. Gonna fall in line here. Gonna try to use the draft and pull ahead of that 22, but he's getting pushed from behind by the 0 of Mike Bliss, who's in 5th. That's another name we don't really say often here in the MG Cup Series, Mike Bliss. One car very slow in front of your leaders, only going about 165. That's the 40-mile-an-hour difference, and they somehow made it work. Only two cars getting held up. Michael Walker way off the pace. And I don't know. He gave them options, but still just nowhere really for him to go to get out of the way. I'd say just pull it off of the track and take the DNF, but these teams will say otherwise. Chris Mack, meanwhile, flying back through the field. Look at him up on the high side, going wherever other cars aren't. All orbital here. And the thing about the MG Cup Series, you do not have to take your foot off the throttle at most of these tracks. That's a bit different from real life racing in stock car. Well, not now, not with this 550 horsepower package, but how it was at the time. You had to back off the gas to make it through the corners. The MG Cup Series drivers don't need to do that. Tracks are gripped up enough for them to go flat out. So Chris Mack doesn't really need to worry about tires too much here. The main concern for pitting there was fuel. And I think he's going to try to make up some of that time that he lost on these fresher tires while they still grip to the track and hold the line better. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes, because everyone will need to pit, but oh my god, I can't speak. They choose to wait until almost the very end of the race to make their green flag pit stops, rather than making it kind of half and half run. I guess to have fresher tires at the end of the race. Tires really don't matter all too much. I mean, you start to feel it when your tires wear, but they aren't too important at this racetrack, or at tracks like this, because there's so much grip. You can go flat out no matter what, unless your tires are just killed. So I guess that's what drivers are trying to avoid. Chris Mack got slowed down a little bit there by the lap traffic. He's going to keep it rolling. So Matt Kenseth is your leader, and Chris Mack is catching these guys by a lot here. He's got the fastest car on track, and he's not afraid to show it. I think his tires are starting to wear down just a bit, but he's using the draft whenever he can. Oh, we got a wreck! Casey Mears, Ricky Rudd going around. That's going to ruin the strategy of Papyrus Racing, and Tony Stewart wins the race back to the yellow flag. Chris Mack is furious over the radio. Absolutely heated. So we have a crash, bringing out yet another caution flag, ruining the strategy of Papyrus Racing. They're going to have to hope for a lucky break. They need to hurry up and get back on the lead lap here on this restart, then hope for another caution to save them. But man, a tough break once again. Their strategy, I feel like it can work if they could just get a long enough green flag run, but they cannot, it seems. And let's see what happened here. Casey Mears coming up. Ricky Rudd is there. Casey Mears doesn't realize that. Tried to slide up and get out of the way of Joe Nemechek, and they just ran out of room. Went into the wall. Jamie McMurray gets some right side damage off of that. And these two slide down the racetrack. Slide to the bottom of the track next to the inside wall. Don't hit anything except each other. But that's what brings out the yellow flag. A tough break with Papyrus Racing. They might want to think of a different strategy here for the next time we come to this track later this season. They just can't seem to get things to go their way. We're going to be right back after this. Welcome back to the MG Cup Series. You see the 86 pulling up to the inside as he is trapped a lap down. He's going to try to earn that lap back. He run his restart and hope for a caution. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this goes. But most of the field pitted, so I don't believe they'll need to pit again later in this race. I think that is it for that. So Chris Mack gonna have to give it his all here. That team's strategy may have backfired on them here, but it's up to him. They can try to change it. He's gonna try to take his lap back right here, side drafting just a little bit down the back stretch, and pulls to the inside of Tony Stewart. He's gonna take the lead away. Now he needs, or not the lead, but he's gonna take the lap back. Now he needs to hope for a yellow flag. He needs to hope for a quick caution to get him back onto the lead lap, and he can try to fight his way back up through the pack and win. But it'll be a very difficult battle, but he has the fastest car on the track by a whole 3/10, so I'd say he's got a good shot at doing it if he can just stay on the lead lap. If a caution were to come out right now, that may save them. The 97, the 1, the 21, 3 wide back here. Chris Mack praying for a wreck. He's up in the 6th, he's up in the 10th place. There's only about 10 cars on the lead lap, counting him. So either way, he's gonna get top 10 points, no matter what happens, if this race goes green all the way or not. But looking at the 20 and the 16, Greg Biffle, Tony Stewart battling for the lead. Two drivers that were kind of quiet in their first couple of seasons. Tony Stewart kind of started to show a little bit last season. He got a couple of wins, I think 2 or 3 wins last season. Greg Biffle got his first career win a couple of weeks ago at Auto Club. Now looking for another one here in Atlanta. Last time we came here, Ted Christopher pulled off an upset win with the crazy strategy call to win him the race, and an insane amount of luck. Lap cars all over the place, preventing the leaders from catching him. But Chris Mack just hoping for a wreck. 2 Roush cars in the top 5 right now. Actually 1-2 right now. The rest of the field just kind of driving around. Looks like this is going to be the one time they stop wrecking. Looking at the 15 of Michael Waltrip here. It's a slow car. Chris Mack catching them quickly. Waltrip, where is he going to go? Gets underneath them. Gets by pretty cleanly there. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the MG Cup Series. Michael Waltrip spins on the front stretch and wipes out Greg Biffle, bringing out the caution. And at the worst time for Chris Mack too, because he got slowed down by that. Tony Stewart puts him back a lap down. So all that work he just did, he's got to do it all over again. Unless he gets some sort of a miracle and catches Tony, it's not going to happen off of turn 4. Tony Stewart wins the race back to the check for the yellow flag. And Chris Mack is trapped 1 lap down once again. What happened there? We're going to go back here and take a look at what just went down. The 15 of Michael Waltrip, the 18 or 86 of Chris Mack. Oh, I'm not sure what happened there, to be completely honest with you. It just looked like a bit of a misjudgment. I mean, the 15 kind of got in the way at the 86. Chris Mack tries to check up a little bit, gets into him, and got slowed down by it. And now I can't tell. What? You guys be the judge of that one. Now that I look, oh, big hit for Greg Biffle. Takes him right out of the race. Tough break for him there. Yeah, he was having such a great run, but man, one of your leaders getting taken out by a lap car spinning. Look at what just happened here. Nowhere for him to go. Look out, look out, look out. Guys come flying by him at full speed here. Absolutely terrifying to see. I'm not sure what to call that one. But let's roll it here. Oh, I'm not expecting it to be that fast. Let's roll it here. I'm really not sure. Looks like the 86 either misjudged it or just wasn't happy with being held up by the 15. Sent the 15 car around in front of your leaders. Just a very unfortunate situation there. Michael Waltrip slowed down the 86. The 86 just paid him back, it seems like. That's what I'm going to go with here. It'll be interesting to see what develops from this. But that just took a couple of cars out of the race, so we won't have to worry about Mikey anymore, at least. He was the slowest car on track, other than Casey Mears. Well, Casey Mears ain't on track anymore, actually. Tough break for Chris Mack, though. He stuck a lap down. We're going to have to try this again after this quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the MG Cup Series. Chris Mack going to try it again here. 8 cars on the lead lap, but we're about to make it 9. Chris Mack back onto the lead lap here. With just a handful of laps left in the race now. Chris Mack blocking like a crazy person. As the 0-1 of Joe Nemechek follows him through. Joe is 2 laps down, I believe. Yeah, no, he's 8 laps down. I'm not sure what he's doing up here. But now Mike Bliss is going to lead a lap here in the MG Cup Series. Mike Bliss in the 0 car just led a lap. Drove up there, took the lead legitimately, and led a lap. And now almost gets turned by Jamie McMurray. Things are getting intense here. Lap cars trying to get back on the lead lap, and they're right in the mix, right in the middle of the battle for the lead. Things are crazier than ever here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. As we approach the end of this race. Chris Mack in front of the field, just hoping for a caution to save him from finishing at the tail end of the lead lap here. He needs a caution to get him back on the lead lap. Of Mike Wallace. Very slow out on the racetrack right now, but seems to be going a little bit faster than the other guys were, so doesn't look like he'll be as much of a hazard. But the fastest car out on the racetrack right now is desperately hoping for a caution here to save him, to save that strategy from backfiring on them, to save the team from finishing 9th place when they could get a better finish. about to get crazy. We've got a battle for the lead brewing here. The 6 of Mark Martin, looking to win his 3rd race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. To the back bumper of Tony Stewart, moves him up the racetrack, almost turned him off of turn 4. He pulls to the inside. Stewart's going to leave that lap, but Mark Martin has the bottom, the shorter way around the racetrack. He's going to take it on the inside here. Stewart going to try to get that runoff on the high side and hope for a little bit of drafting help from behind. There's more cars on the high side right now heading down the straightaway, but they head down to the bottom in the corner. And Mark Martin is going to take the lead. Jamie McMurray, a lap car, fighting for his lap back as well here in the 42 machine, up into the mix. Off with turn 2, now down the back stretch. I know it's pretty late, but we're going to crank it up. That was a quick crank it up, and I am back. Commentary here. They're 3 wide at the back end of the field. Chris Mack hoping that they get together and bring out a yellow flag because he needs it. We are quickly approaching the end of the race here. As we come around, 12 laps to go this time by. Chris Mack in the 86. Hoping for some sort of a miracle to happen here so we can have a chance to win this race. But laps are clicking off one by one here. Tony Stewart trying to hold off the field. Jamie McMurray trying to get his lap back as well. He's in the same position Chris Mack is in. Trying to finish on the lead lap, or get back onto the lead lap in case of a caution. And no, they're not going to let these leaders go easily here. Scott Wimmer looking to win yet another race, I believe. Or maybe he hasn't won yet. I'm not sure. I have to look at the win count again. There was a bunch of winners. 27, I believe, winners in the 2003 season. The first ever season of the MG Cup Series. I don't believe that's a record. I don't think we'll ever break that record. Like, what? That's almost a winner. Like a new winner each race almost. But we're still rolling here. 10 laps to go. Well, 9 to go now from Atlanta Motor Speedway. And Tony Stewart, your leaders are catching up to the 86. They are closing in on Chris Mack. Are they going to put him another lap down here? Or is it too late for that 86 to do anything? Lap cars are just ahead of the field. That might slow these guys down just a little bit. And who knows, it might even cause a wreck that might save the 86, but I don't think he has enough time because look at how many cars are still out on the racetrack right now. The 01 of Joe Nemechek is in 23rd place. The last car on track, 8 laps down. But with that amount of cars that you're going to have to pass, especially with them all being on in the same lane, because the double file restarts aren't a thing with N10 to go, so with them all being in one lane, it's gonna get chaotic. People are gonna be pulling out of line. It's really gonna be nowhere to go for Chris Mack, so he's gonna need a caution to come out as soon as possible here, because he is running out of time. We're almost at the point of no return. We are almost there. Oh, we got a lap car. The 4 of Mike Wallace, and oh, he just spun him. That's going to bring out the caution. Mike Wallace goes around on the back straightaway, clips the inside wall. I think he could have kept it off the wall, but he just ran into it for some reason. Chris Mack still ahead of your leaders. He's going to get back on the lead lap off of that, but I'm 100%, or I'm 99% sure that he just wiped out the Ford to get out a caution that might backfire on him because it's 4 laps to go now. We have 4 laps to go. Cautions usually take about 3 laps. I'm not sure if we'll get this thing underway once again. I think that might have been the end of the race. But Chris Mack, out of desperation, spins the 4 of Mike Wallace to bring out a caution to stay on the lead lap and give himself a little bit of hope. So he's going to bring it down pit road here under this caution. We're not even going to take a break. We're going green this time. Bye. Okay. So it'll be a 1-lap shootout from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Man, these things always come down to just a late restart, don't they? Tony Stewart is your leader. Mark Martin's in second. Jamie McMurray, the 3rd car in line. He's not in 3rd place. He's still a lap down. The 22 of Scott Wimmer is 3rd. Then Mike Bliss in the 0 car, looking for his career best finish in the 4th place position. I can't English. The 4th place position right now. In 5th, the 2 of Rusty Wallace, who was in a wreck earlier today, but he was fast throughout all of today. He's in 5th place. The 6th place car is the 1 of Martin Truex Jr. A lot of drivers looking for their either career best or their career best finishes or the best finishes of their best finishes of the season. We're about to go green though. Things are about to come down to just this 1 restart right here at the end of the race. 1 lap to decide things from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Green flag back in the air. We're racing once again. White flag in the air as well. One more time around from Atlanta. And Chris Mack, look at the run he's got. He waited and accelerated. He was up to speed before a lot of people were, but he's not going to have enough time to get there. He's flying through the field, but unfortunately, he's just going to run out of time right here. He's trying to gain as many spots as he can. Meanwhile, through 3 and 4, Tony Stewart has the 6 all over his back bumper. Almost gets turned. He's going to save it. Tony Stewart wins at Atlanta. What a finish. Stewart was able to hold off a hard-charging Mark Martin off of turn 4 there. And it nearly resulted in a wreck, but he got it done. Tony Stewart with another win this season. The Daytona 500 winner this season. Gets it done at Atlanta. Oh, man. After 2 lengthy red flags and an hour-long hour-long race, things finally come to an end. Chris Mack worked his way all the way back up to 5th place after that, so you gotta feel for that team, man. They had a chance to get back on the lead lap, and I don't think they'll get penalized for intentionally wrecking a lap car to get a caution out, because 1, it didn't really, wasn't too severe, and 2, it's technically not in the rule book yet. I mean, there's no rule against it, so he can't get penalized for something that's not against the rules. He didn't break a rule, so he can't get penalized for it. And he did it twice in this race, though. You gotta believe that thing with Michael Waltrip was an attempt to do what he did late there, and it just didn't work out for him. But I don't know. That seemed to be just a heated situation between Mikey and Chris Mack. But either way, Tony Stewart wasn't the fastest car of the day, but things went his way, and he held off that 6 car. What a crazy race that was, but that's going to do it. Hope y'all enjoyed. After an hour and 5 minutes of recording, we are finally closing things out from Atlanta's Motor Speedway. Hope y'all enjoyed that, because I surely did. And yeah, hope to see you guys next race, and until then, peace. I'm going to let this video hit 105. There it is.